Mali suspends arsenal mine permits for foreigners after some accidents. It also approved the dismissal of administrative and security officials connected to the two recent accidents which killed at least 45 people.
Hello Africa, this is New Africa and my name is Kenyan Beast. Thank you so much for tuning in on this YouTube channel. Now, I'm going to talk about Mali. Mali is doing something very, very important, something that a lot of African countries need to do because Mali has cancelled over 90 mining permits, okay? They didn't just change the paperwork, but they shook the entire global system. They have shocked the entire white system. This is economical advantage to Mali, and it's something that we are seeing that Africa is rising. So it shows how things are changing right now. Okay, this is our land, and this being our land as Africa, this being our land as Mali, we have to take control of the minerals. Okay, the era of extractions is over. Now, as I said earlier, over 90 mining permits are cancelled. Over 90 mining permits are revoked. Okay, and these were not small permits, but these were permits tied to gold, tied to lithium, tied to rare earth minerals and strategic minerals. Okay, the kind of minerals that are the lifeblood of global tech, global finance, and global warfare. So when Mali closed those doors, the message traveled directly is very clear. Africa is done being fooled. Africa is done being looted. Africa is done being exploited. Why this is so big for Africa? Why it is so big for Africa? Because this is not just about Mali. This is a continental energy shift. For decades, African countries were told that if you touch mining contracts, you scare investors. But let me tell you the truth. Who was scaring who? Foreign companies were the ones scaring African governments. Foreign companies were the ones threatening lawsuits, threatening sanctions, or threatening to pull out investment, threatening economical consequences. And too many African leaders backed off. But Mali have said something that we will rather lose investors than lose our dignity. Okay? And that is our true leadership. That is sovereignty that we want in Africa. And that's the energy Africa has been starving for. Now, the whole continent is watching Mali like, hold on, you know. You can actually do that. So, other leaders are seeing what Mali is doing and they are like, okay, this is it is possible. Because what people thought is impossible, Ibrahim Traore did it. Niger did it. Now Mali is doing it. Okay? So this is a wake-up call. And that's why we need youth leaders. Because youth leaders don't hesitate to try to make decisions. Because we have a lot of years ahead to live. So we can make decisions, the decisions that is well for the people of Africa. Now, there's a history that nobody tells you. When colonialism ended, at least on paper, Africa inherited a mining system designed to enrich Europe, designed to keep African and Africans out of the wealth of their own soil, designed to siphon gold, to siphon copper, to siphon diamond and iron away from the continent and its foreign reserves. Okay? Not by accident, but by design. Now, mining laws across Africa were written with one goal: to keep Africans poor while their land makes billions for others. Now, let's think about something here. A continent sitting on 40% the world gold. Over 40% world's gold. 90% of the world's cobalt. 30% of the world's uranium. The largest reserve of rare earth outside China. And yet we're still poor. How? That's not logical. And this is why when Mali cancelled those permits, it wasn't just paperwork. but it was a direct attack on the colonial economic system, and I want all black people and African to support this move. Okay? And this is sending a lot of panic to America. White America, Europe, the West, they are panicking. Okay? Let's not sugarcoat this. Let's not see as if it's a small thing. This one is big. Foreign powers are panicking because Mali did something extremely dangerous. This that set an African example. And if Mali can do it, that means Kenya can do it. If Mali can do it, that means Tanzania, Guinea, Burkina Faso, Niger, South Africa, DRC, Namibia, Zambia, they can do it. And suddenly Africa isn't just raw materials farm for the world. Africa is negotiating. We are renegotiating terms and conditions. We don't want terms and conditions that are affecting us anymore. We want terms and conditions that are favorable to us because we are the people of the land. Okay? Africa is standing tall. Africa is looking foreign cooperation in the eye and saying, you know what? These minerals aren't yours, they're ours. So if you want to make a deal, let's make a good deal out of it. And that's what is happening. Because when Africa unites around minerals, the entire global economic shakes. Okay? Now, what most people don't know about mining permits is that, let's break down a little bit and get this as small education. Because you think about permits and you are like, what are those? Okay? Mining permits are the real power. Okay? Mining permits are not the machines, not the money, not the technology, but the permit is the power. Why? Because permit decides who gets access, who do not get access, who sets the price. So if you have the permit and you're extracting gold from Kenya, which was found in Kakamega, that means that you are the one who will be setting the price, the buying price. So you're going to come here and buy it for $2, go with it and come sell again here for $2,000. That's not logical. Permit dedicates or decides who profits, who controls the minerals, who protected by the law, who gets immunity, and who gets to exploit. So foreign companies fight harder for mining permits than they fight in actual wars. Some governments fall because of these permits. Some coups are funded because of these permits we are talking about. Some rebellions start because of this permit. So when Mali tore up 90 of them, they weren't just being bold. They declared war. War on what? They declared war on the silent economic colonization system that it is in Africa. And that's where the role of Pan-African leadership comes in, or in this, okay? In this shift, because this is a shift. Okay? This is the moment that didn't come from nowhere. Okay? This moment came from this new generation, from the youths, from the Gen Zs. The new generation of African leadership, a generation that says, you know what? If you want our minerals, sit down. Let's negotiate. We are the one who are setting the price. We are not your backyard anymore. Okay? Burkina Faso, Mali, Niger, Guinea has done it. And for the first time in the decades, Africans people, the youth especially, are standing with their governments when they take back control of national resources. Because African people are tired. African people are tired of watching wealth leave the borders. We are tired of seeing towns around mines filled with poverty. We are tired of seeing the roads around the mines. They are, I just want you to look at African countries that have resources. They have poor infrastructure, no hospitals, no schools, and yet we have the rich. We have the resources. We are tired of seeing foreign fly with private jets while local walk home hungry. So this new Pan-African awakening fuels the political courage that we are seeing in Mali. Okay? Let me give you just an example of countries that are reclaiming their resources. They are standing bold and saying, you know what? It is time for us. Zambia is one of it. Recently, They renegotiated contracts with big mining firms to increase taxes and local benefits. Namibia is doing it, banned the export of unprocessed lithium and critical minerals. Under Magufuli, Tanzania did it. South Africa is doing it. DRC Congo is doing it, renegotiating cobalt and copper. Guinea is doing it. Okay? Not begging, not apologizing, not negotiating from weakness. This is an African that knows that we are the engine of the future of global economy. And you know what? Global companies or foreign companies fear this sovereignty. They fear this mineral sovereignty because minerals are the new oil. Okay? And Africa holds the key to EV batteries. Africa holds the key to smartphones. We hold the key to solar panels. We hold the key to space tech, to military tech, to AI chips, to green transition industries. So if Africa controls the minerals, that means what? That means Europe slows down, China slows down, America slows down, tech companies slows down, and defense companies slow down. So this is not small issue. This is world order stuff. Foreign powers fear one thing, and this thing is an African that refuse exploitation. So cancelling those 90 permits now gives Mali room to reevaluate contracts, to reclaim illegally allocated fields. It gives Mali a room to demand value addition, to build local refines, to create more jobs, and etc., etc. Okay? And what this means to Africa is that Africans use, for example, it's the largest in the world. People under 25 years are the new engine of the continent. And what they are saying is that we want jobs, not just minerals leaving the country. Okay, so mining has the power to transform economies, build manufacturing, create technology, boost national revenue, but only if controlled properly. So what Mali has done is a plus to African, and I support fully, and African youth are supporting this, and we are here for the change until each and every African countries does this. Because we want to take control. When Africa rises, the whole world will rise. Not only us, only or black people. Because Africa is the mother of every human being. So Africa has the right to cancel bad contracts. Okay? The world needs African minerals more than Africa needs foreign investor. Value addition is the future. So we need to support each and every move, and I need each and every African citizen, each and every youth to share this video so that we know that it is not bad to do these things, because we as Africans, we can benefit from it, from our own resources, because we have solutions to this. When we normalize key minerals, or when we nationalize key minerals, not full socialization, just strategic control, it's a plus. We can control. When you build African-owned mineral refineries, when we regional resources blocks, it's a plus. Just imagine West Africa controlling gold, Central Africa controlling cobalt, South African controlling platinum, and East Africa controlling rare earths. That will be a game over. Another solution, we need to have Pan-African mining laws, train African youth in geology, and mining tech. So we need to give the youth the skill and give them the tools. But by doing so, these old puppet minds cannot do that for us. What we need to do is, us as the youths, we need to wake up, we need to go into books, study, and know your laws, know the rules, know everything, and let's change the game. So this is more, what Mali has done, this is more than political decision. It is psychological liberation. It is spiritual liberation. Okay? And this tells Africa that your wealth is your power and you need to guard it. This is New Africa, where Africa speaks for herself. I will see you in the next one.